Hi all and welcome back. It's a lovely morning. You can tell autumn is coming, but it's still like 20 degrees. It's lovely, isn't it? So I've got my tripod at home. I think the kids have lost it somewhere, so I'm gonna have to do this without a tripod. And I woke up this morning and I thought, actually, yeah, I need to do an honest September tour of my allotment. And I think a lot of the times when you look at these videos, the allotments are perfectly polished, it looks amazing, but that's not always the truth behind, and it takes so much time to get your allotment up to scratch and running. And I've got a confession to make. I have been neglecting my allotment over the last 2 months. The kids have been on summer holidays. We've been away most weekends, like long weekends as well, like 4 days at a time, and I've just not had the time. The allotment has been producing a lot, so any spare time that I've had, it's literally taken me hours to harvest things. So I've not had any time to weed or do anything at all. So what I will do, I'll just take you through what I have growing and what it looks like. And I am really proud of it, even though you might think it's a mess. So first of all, this is all mine, and I never tackled this side last year. It's something that I will be doing this time round. It's just overgrown. It's not really weeds. It's this plant, I don't know what it's called. People add them into their compost and things like that, and I've got a bit of soil left over there. But this is my allotment. I'm really impressed that my cosmos flowers are still there. I've done a lot of pruning yesterday, and this is the result from that. That's husband's job. My tomatoes have done so amazingly where the wood chips have been. They're so heavy, they've even fallen over, look. But I'm still keeping them, they're still growing and they're still turning. And the bees are loving the cosmos flowers. And in case you guys have not noticed, my allotment is overrun by mare's tail and bindweed. Two of the weeds that are pretty much impossible to get rid of. And to be fair, the mulch is quite low here now, so it needs topping up anyway, which will improve the condition. But I will pull the majority of these out before I go ahead and top it up. Then we have the Polytunnel. It's done so amazing this year. I think I've had something like 200 or 300 pounds of tomatoes from here, and they're still turning red. They're still growing really nicely. They need a weed and a prune though, look. It's just getting out of control. These tomatoes are amazing. Got my lemon boy tomatoes. The lemon boy tomatoes, the reason why I grew these, they are like a late producer, so they're amazing to grow if you want to have something a bit later on. You can see they're growing really well, and most of my tomatoes look quite healthy, I would say. Though this is a period of time when blight would strike. That's the case. Look, it's even climbing up at the top. We have our peppers. Some of them are already turning red and yellow, and they're starting to fall over, some of these. I might take this plant out and just take the peppers off. And I've got another one down there. They're sort of falling over as well. This bed here has never been weeded, so there is quite a lot. It's even got some potato plants growing. These are my cucumbers. I've had so many from here. It's incredible, and it's still giving. I've still got cucumbers growing, so I'm really happy with that. In fact, I've had to share so many of these cucumbers with the neighbors. So yeah, I do have some powdery mildew, and I'll take it from the other side so you can see better. This is what it looks like. They really need taking out. It's just the one variety that's been affected, and that's the Chinese slangen. I'll make sure that I'm not going to be growing them next year. I'm not going to be growing as many of them because the rest of the tomatoes are perfectly fine. I had an amazing pear harvest, and I made really delicious spiced brandy pears, and we'll see how they will turn out. I tasted the syrup, it was amazing, and I will record a video next year and do some more of it as well. So in total we have 2 brassica beds, one on that side and one on that side. This is the first and original one I put in, and a lot of stuff in there is way overgrown and needs pulling. And I have that one there that has some cauliflower popping through, cabbages and leeks in there. And in here, look, I'm going to take the cover off so you can see better, hopefully. And this is with the cover taken off. We have some lovely purple sprouting broccoli. This is the later plant that I had put in, and it's already producing some broccoli, which I'm happy with. And I think this plant is going to be the same. One of the things I learned for next year to label them properly, because these are not properly labeled whatsoever. Got some purple sprouts growing right here that I need to sort out and weed. I've got, these are some lovely cabbages, and I make cabbage rolls out of them with meat inside, and they are absolutely delicious. And I've got 1, 2, 3 of them. I'm really happy with the size of them. Look, they're absolutely enormous. We've got some lovely red cabbages. I'm not sure you can see the heads of them. They are really big, and I'm really happy with them. All of these I think are just overgrown. I'm not even sure. I'll really need to go through all this and have a look. We have lots of raspberries and blackberries and the apple tree. These tomatoes here have not done well at all. They were planted at the same time as the ones with the wood chips. The tomatoes with the wood chips have done fabulously compared to these, so I shall be putting all the wood chips onto here as well. And like anything, nothing goes perfectly, so I've had my issues this year. For example, this bed here, none of my peas survived in it. I've had some issues with my apples where they've got like these little, pick one up that's dropped down, little marks on them. I had a look, and it basically said that it's possible that it's just a shot of water because we've had drought, possibly. We were in drought for quite a few months, so that might be it. And yeah, I've had quite a lot of powdery mildew this year, which I'm going to try and treat before it happens next year. But I've still done really well in terms of my courgettes and things. So let's have a look at those. This is the arch where the cucumber should have grown. They've never grown, but that's okay. We'll try again next year. This is the powdery mildew. I really need to get all these out of the ground, but they are still producing little courgettes, so I don't want to get them out just yet. We'll see if anything grows. If nothing grows, I'll just bin them. We have this enormous courgette. This is the Romanesco courgette, and it's been producing really well for me this year. It's kind of split into 3 ways, one there, one here and one here, and each one produces vegetables, which is amazing. So these are my 2 vegetable beds, and I'm really proud of them. I've not had to weed them. Well, no, I had to weed them, but I just never did. So they've been like this for about 3 months now, just growing really well and nicely on their own. And yeah, I've not had to do too much with them, which is I'm quite happy with. I just allowed everything to grow and just harvest as I would anyway. Like I said, I didn't have much time. So this bed I weeded yesterday. I'm just going to show you a shot of both of them just so you can see what they both look like. So that's the bed here that's been weeded, and that one has not. So you can see there is growth around it, but it's been in for about, I would say, 3 months. And it took me about 10 minutes to weed this one. So it's not been too bad at all. And the amount of food I have growing here is a lot. And next year I will try to double at least the amount that I'm growing and the varieties and things. So yeah, I'm quite happy with it. That bed is a different issue. Nothing's growing in it and it's just become absolutely overrun, and I'll just have to sort it out. I'll kind of leave it to last and see what happens with that one. But yeah, there's brambles taken over, which I need to sort out. My rhubarb, even though I picked like 40 stalks from it, it's growing insane. It's absolutely enormous. So this year I've grown beetroot, variety that I've never grown before, and I'll have a look, see if I can find it. I'll pop it on the screen now. It grows long rather than round, and they're absolutely enormous. They must be harvested today though, because they're just outgrowing this space, and I don't want them to overgrow either, because I want to do something with them. So let's have a look at getting some. These are the beetroot. Let's just take the first one out. That's the size of it. I mean, it's absolutely enormous. I'm really happy with it. They're gorgeous, and I want to make some pickled beetroot, and I think it's gonna make way more than just pickled beetroot for me. At this point, because I want to look into what else I can plant in these beds over the winter time. So we've got to really have a look at some of these cabbages, because I'm really excited about them. The cabbage, isn't it amazing? Let me just try and one last one, I reckon. It's enormous. How amazing. This is called Filderkraut, and in Lithuania, where I'm from, we make cabbage rolls with them, so it's destined for that, and so are the other three as well. I batch cook at home, so I'll be able to batch cook all of them and freeze them. I can't believe what I've done. Have a look at the difference. I've taken out all of the overgrown purple sprouting broccoli, anything that wasn't quite edible anymore. Look at it. Look at the airflow underneath of it. And I've actually cut back a lot of the brambles. You can see a pile just here. there were a lot of brambles, and by brambles I mean thorny blackberries, and I've tried to get rid of them last year, but they seem to have come back this year, even though I tried to dig out their roots. You can see some purple sprouting broccoli, lots and lots of leaves here. Anything that didn't look quite healthy, I just took it right out because I just didn't want to hear. And I found a lot of like little aphids under the plants. Can you see the little flies flying around? I think those are the aphids, little white ones. I don't know if you can see. Wait, let me see if I can. Can you see? It's full of them. So I think might need to spray them with something to keep the aphids away. But I'm really impressed with my purple sprouting broccoli. It's really started to come along. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 purple sprouting broccoli plants. What am I going to do? I do not know. Oop, spotted one. Dodgy leaf I've missed. Can you see? All under here. Yeah, it really needed doing, so I thought I'll just get on with it. I think that's pretty good for a September harvest. We've got some peppers that I had just broken off by accident. We've got tons of broccoli, some lovely carrots, purple sprouting broccoli, celery, and 2 enormous cabbages. That's it, you guys. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you've watched this video and realized actually your allotment is way better than mine at the minute. But yeah, God, I feel so much better just getting my hands in the ground and pulling up some weeds. And yeah, I'll see you soon. Bye.